Dear students, today we will start with standard costing, which is a very interesting topic, otherwise called as variance analysis. Unlike financial accounting, in cost accounting, we need to understand the process of accounting for cost and other related transactions like material, labor, overheads. Generally speaking, the cost transactions are recorded on a predetermined basis. So we actually set a standard. The standard becomes a basis for comparing the actuals, and we carry out an analysis called variance analysis. So there is another name for this topic called variance analysis. This topic is also referred to as variance analysis. Okay, let us straight away start with an example. The purpose of standard costing, you all know standard costing is a technique of costing, and it is for the purpose of control of cost. It's for the purpose of control of cost. Let us assume that for a particular product you are having a standard cost sheet where for every unit of output you are spending raw material 5 rupees, then direct labor 3 rupees, then you have variable overhead as 2 rupees and fixed overhead as 2 rupees. So standard cost per unit is 12 rupees. You are trying to fix a profit of 3 rupees per unit of product. So you are fixing a selling price as 15. Now this becomes a basis for you to operate, and this enables you to fix a selling price also, against which you compare the actuals. So your standard or target was 5 rupees per unit of raw material, whereas it actually turned out to be 6 rupees. So there is a negative variance of 1 rupee. Labor cost, you were about to spend 3 rupees, but you actually spent 2.5. So there is a positive variance of 0.5. Variable overheads, the standard was 2, but you actually spent 3. So there is a negative variance of -1. That is, -1 is a variance. Fixed overhead 2 rupees and you actually spend 2.5 minus 0.5. So overall, against an actual cost of 12 rupees, you actually spend 14 rupees, resulting in an unfavorable variance or negative or unfavorable variance. Negative or unfavorable variance of 2 rupees. And so that means there is something wrong either with your standard, or you need to actual cost, you have to bring it down to be in line with the standard. So there are some actions which are going to be triggered out of this variance analysis. So you now currently, earlier you were making a profit of 3 rupees, now you are able to make a profit of only 1 rupee per unit. So there is a problem. And analyzing this into reasons why this 5 rupees raw material cost has become 6 rupees. Now there are very interesting components to it. We are going to discuss this in detail. The components could be because of price change or change in quantity used, very important, or change in mix of quantity used. It can be anything. There are various reasons as to why this 5 rupees standard could not be achieved and you actually ended up at 6 rupees actuals. So that means the supplier has supplied you at a higher price where you have a scope for negotiating, or you have to go for a new supplier. Or you may even think of manufacturing your own raw material at your factory if you have a capacity to produce. Not only that, the quantity usage could have been. Now, to give you a simple example, I don't know how many of you are aware of this. When you cook rice, actually, when you cook rice with old rice, you get better output than a new rice. I think you can check with your parents if you're not familiar with that. So the output, the quality of input determines output. So if I want to use a raw material which in quality terms is not good, then I will be having to require to spend more quantity for same output. So that will automatically lead me to a higher price. So instead of using 1 kg of raw material, I have to use 1.2 kg of raw material for the same output. So the variance can arise due to prices, the variance can arise due to quantity, etc. So we have to analyze the variance, reasons for variance thoroughly, and carry out necessary or initiate actions. Initiate necessary management actions. Management only has to take actions to address this issue. And variance analysis are broadly classified into cost variances and sales variances. So we are going to focus initially on the cost variances, where we have 4 different types of variances: raw material, material variances, labor variances. Okay, I would put it as material variance, labor variance. I'll call this as material variances, labor variances. Material variances and labor variance, variable overhead variance and fixed overhead variance. Then we'll come to the sales variances. Now, what is a standard? According to CIMA, Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, UK, it is a predetermined measurable quantity set in defined condition. Defined condition means sort of assumptions or some criteria. So how do you set your standard? You set your standard based on some conditions, some assumptions. Correct? So that becomes a standard. So in the current scenario, let us say in inflationary conditions, you may not be able to fix the standard easily because the price keeps increasing. Maybe in a recessionary scenario, the prices don't increase, but they may decrease or they may remain the same. It becomes easy for you to fix the price. So there are some defined conditions like demand theory works on principles and conditions. Same thing applies for a standard. Then what is a standard cost? CIMA defines standard cost as a standard expressed in money, and it is built up from an assessment of the value of cost elements. So the cost elements we are talking about is material, labor, overheads, etc. And its main uses are providing basis for performance measurement, very important. So when you use standard costing, use it for the purpose of performance measurement. Then control. I am sure you know by this time what is control. Control is checking your actuals against your plan and checking whether you have done it according to your plan. If not, you need to identify the reasons for non-performance. And control by exception reporting. So you also can call this as management by exception. That is, you only focus on areas which needs action. Don't focus on positive areas. See, in a subject, if you are scoring 80 plus, would you be worried about that subject? Probably not, because you are comfortable in that subject, you are scoring well. But if you are scoring only 55 or 60 in a subject, then it is something causing a worry. You need to focus on that. So you need to only focus on areas of exception, like what we call management by exception. So standard costing enables management to focus on areas which needs control. Stock valuation, very interesting. If you recollect, in accounting standards, there is a mechanism which is permitted for valuation of stock, that is called standard cost method, because sometimes it may so happen that you may not have cost data to determine the value of stock, so you are allowed to value stock on a standard cost basis. So stock valuation is always possible on a standard cost basis. So standard costing is also helping us to value the stock. Then establishing selling prices. As I gave an example, only if you know your standard cost properly, you'll be able to establish your prices. So standard costing, what is standard costing? It's a technique basically, it's a control technique. And it compares standard cost and revenues, that's what I said, sales variances, with actual results to obtain variances which are used to stimulate improved performance. So if I have a better control over my budget or plan, in this case we are talking at a standard. Standard and budget are different because standard is working on operational criteria, whereas budget is a broader plan. So that is the basic difference. If at all you have a doubt between budgetary control and standard costing, they are lookalikes. Both of them are used for control purposes, no doubt. But budget is used more on a broader perspective. They are used more on a broader plan, whereas standard costing is more used on an actual operational matters like purchase of material, usage of material. So it goes into an operational criteria, and budget is broader plan like what should be your total sales, what should be your total cost and all that. So anyhow, I'll come to budgetary control a little later, but focusing on standard costing, we need to understand it enables a better performance. It enables an improved performance. That's the whole concept behind standard costing. So what you're going to do in this topic on standard costing is that we are going to work out variance analysis, analyze the variances with respect to various types of cost elements. As I first said, we'll focus on material variances, where I'll explain you what are the different types of material variances we have to calculate, and then we'll go to labor variances. So material cost variances, very interesting topic, formula driven. For academic purposes, you have to use a lot of formula for calculating the variances. Now, material cost variances are broadly classified into two. Material price variance, then you have material volume or usage variance. Material volume or usage variance. Now this material volume or usage variance can be further subclassified into material mix variance and material yield variance. Material yield variance. Are you clear? So we are going to analyze the variances. The total material cost variance for the output. What is it relating to price? Why there is a variance due to price? How much is it due to price and how much is it due to usage? And when we talk of usage, there is a mix change possible and a yield change possible. Mix means you are going to use more than one material for a product. And yield means the output. You originally thought for every 100 kg of input you will get 99 kgs of output, but actually you get only 98 kgs of output. So there is a variance, and that will also be because of poor handling or poor quality material, etc. Now we are going to use some important technique here, method. I am going to give you M1. I am see very important, carefully observe here. This is a model, okay. We are going to focus on 4 steps here, M1, M2, M3, M4. We have to calculate this. This is an important methodology for variance analysis. Some other books may follow some other method, but I am going to follow this method, which is very interesting and simple to understand. Now, M1 is actual cost of material used. We have to determine this. These are the 4 steps, I would say. These are the 4 steps to calculate variances. Actual cost of material used. That is actual quantity of material used into actual rate. So whenever I am going to use one material or two material, it can even be for 2 or 3 material, because for an output of a product you may use not only one material, you may use 2 or 3 material. Are you able to understand? So I need to determine, let us say there are 3 components, 3 materials for me. I use 3 materials A, B, C. For all the 3 I have to calculate this. This is M1. Then M2, standard cost of material used. Standard cost of material used. So actual quantity into standard rate. Very important. The actual rate, actual quantity and all will be given to you, don't worry. So we need to just apply that and get the figures. Then M3, standard cost of material used. Standard cost of materials used. Materials used. Had it been used in standard proportion. Had it been used in standard proportion. What is this? The actual quantity in standard proportion. Actual quantity in standard ratio or proportion. They will be giving you that standard ratio or standard proportion. Actual quantity in standard ratio or standard proportion into standard rate. So whenever you use the word standard cost, it is standard rate. Clearly understand this. Okay, then coming to M4, standard material cost of actual output. Standard material cost of actual output. That is, output is different, input is different. Kindly understand that. Output is, you use 3 materials A, B, C. Use 100 kgs of raw material A, 50 kgs of raw material B and 50 kgs of raw material C. So you use 200 kgs of input. This is input. Carefully understand, dear students. And output is different. Output is, let us say, after using 200 kgs of 3 raw materials A, B, C put together, you get an output of 195 kg. This 5 kgs has been, as I said, consumed or it got converted, and so the weight is reduced and whatever it is. So the standard material cost of actual output has to be determined, and that is M4. I'll explain you by doing problems how to arrive at these figures. For time being, understand this, very important, very important, and carefully understand this. I am going to first of all determine M1, M2, M3, M4, which are 4 parameters required to calculate variances. Before I calculate the variances, I need to first arrive at this. Then only I will be able to arrive at the variances. So material cost variance, how to arrive at it? There is a formula now, very simple formula, M1 minus M4. So we are going to calculate variances by using formulae. Now my material cost variance is M1 minus M4. Then material price variance is equal to M1 minus M2. Then material usage variance or volume variance. In exam they'll ask you to calculate variances. You have to use this formula. M2 minus M4. Material mix variance. The variance could be because of change in mix also. Mix means the ratio in which you use your input. I gave an example here, ABC standard 100-50-50, but actually you would have used as 90-60-60 or whatever it is. So because of which there may be variance. For whatever reasons, material may not be available, or you would have used a different proportion. So that lead to material mix variance, which is M2 minus M4. Material volume variance, then so material mix variance is M2 minus M3 and material yield variance is M3 minus M4. Okay, are you able to understand this? So very interesting calculation. Mathematically, material cost variance, one more important point, don't forget, material cost variance is equal to material price variance plus material usage variance. Okay, then similarly material volume variance or usage variance is equal to material mix variance plus material yield variance. So very simple steps. So we are going to use this template model, I would say, for calculating all types of variances, labor, overhead, etc. And so each of this will have steps like this. In materials we have 4 steps. So first I'll repeat: actual cost of material used, M2 is standard cost of material used, and M3 is standard cost of material used had the material been used in standard proportion, and standard material cost of actual output. Now after arriving at M1, M2, M3, M4, we need to calculate the variances. Material cost variance is M1 minus M4, material price variance is M1 minus M2, material usage or volume variance is M2 minus M4, material mix variance is M2 minus M3, and material yield variance is M3 minus M4. So once you get these 4 steps done, calculating the variances. So this is basically the final answer. So we can call this as variances. To compute the variances of material, you need to go through the 4 steps. Let us take up a problem to make you understand this so that it will be easy for you to follow. The standard cost of a certain chemical mixture is as under, and 40% of material A at rupees 20 per ton and 60% of material B at rupees 30 per ton. A standard loss of 10% is expected in production. The following actual cost data is given for the period: 180 tons of material A at a cost of 18 per ton, 220 tons of material B at a cost of 34 per ton. The actual output produced is 364 tons. You are required to calculate material price variance, material mix variance, material yield variance, material cost variance, and material usage variance. So let us do this problem. I'll give you the data, you can tabulate it. See, importantly, ideally, you should try to tabulate standard data and actual data. Okay, that's the first step. So there are 2 materials here, material A, material B. The standard ratio of material is 40 of A and 60, that means 100. They'll give you a percentage. And standard price, this is standard quantity, and standard price or standard rate. Standard rate is 20 per ton and this is 30 per ton. Okay. Now actual, AB actual. So this is standards. Coming to actual, 180 tons of, so actual quantity of material used. 180 tons of material used at actual rate of 18. Actual price or actual rate, both are correct only. So the input is 400 less loss, there is a loss. So output arrived is only 364, all in tons, okay, all in tons. So this is what is the data given to us. There is a standard loss expected. This is standard loss expected 10, so 90. So carefully understand, students. Now standard rate and standard quantity is given to us for A. That is, the mixed proportion is given 40-60. You can take it mathematically as 40 and 60 actual quantity. Now I said we have to apply the steps. M1 is equal to, you write along with the description, actual cost of material used. So there are two materials here. I'll tell you the formula here. Actual cost of material used means actual quantity into actual rate. So there are two materials A and B. Actual quantity of A is 180 into actual rate is 18, 3240. For B, actual quantity is 220, actual rate is 34, 7480. So M1 we have calculated as 10,720. So in steps, M1 is actual cost of material used, both materials A and B. AQ into AR is the formula, actual quantity used into actual rate. Then M2, standard cost of material used. This is step 2. Very important. So actual quantity into standard rate is the formula. Try to write both, okay, so that you will not forget it. Now coming to A and B. Actual quantity, you know, it's 180 into standard rate is, just now we got the standard rate as 20 per ton. So you get 3600. And actual quantity of B is 220 at standard is 30, 6600. So 10,200. So M2 is 10,200. Now very important step M3. Description is standard cost of material used. Material used, had it been used in standard proportion. So very important step. I'll explain you this. Proportion. Actual quantity of material used in standard ratio. So very important. Actual quantity of material used in standard ratio or standard proportion into standard rate. So what is the actual input? Actual input is 400. Carefully understand. Actual input is 400. So actual input A and B 400 in ratio of, for A, what is the standard ratio? In standard proportion or standard ratio. Standard ratio for A is 40%. So into 40 by 100 into standard rate. And for B, total used material is 400 into 60, proportion 60 into 30. So 400 into 40 by 100 into 20 rupees will give you 3,200. 400 into 60 by 100 into 30 will give you, so total is 10,400. So M3 is 10,400. Are you able to understand this? Standard cost of actual material used. So you can call this as standard cost of actual material used, actual usage, had it been used in standard proportion. Then coming to M4, standard material cost of actual output. Standard material cost of actual output, I'll tell you, very important. Now you have to put up the standard cost here. Cost. So this is 800, multiply. This is 1800, 2600, 2600. So you should determine the standard cost for actual output. Very, very important, dear students. Standard cost for 90 units of output is 2600. This is the cost. So for 90 units of output, standard cost is 2600. For 90 units of output, standard cost is 2600. For actual 364 units of output, this is actual, okay, of output, what should be the standard cost? This is standard cost. Now very, very important, dear students, very easy actually, carefully observe this. Now my standard data tells that for 90 units of output, 100 units of input and 90 units of output, I spend 2600 on materials. My standard cost is 2600, perfectly fine. But the actual output for me is 364 tons. What should be the standard cost? So standard material cost for actual output, what should it be? So I cross multiply 364 into 2600 by 90. So I'll get a figure of 10,516. So this is M4. So these are the 4 steps I need to first calculate before calculating variances. Now I can proceed to calculate variances. Are you able to understand? So M1 is, I'll repeat, actual cost of material used. M2 is standard cost of material used. M3 is standard cost of actual material used had it been used in standard proportion. M4 is standard material cost of actual output. This is for the output. Don't forget this. This is for the output. So there is a comparison of input cost for the output achieved. Variances, now we can calculate material. We can start with in the order of the question itself. Material price variance is equal to M1 minus M2. So you can actually calculate in total basis, or you can calculate for each material also. For A and B, M1, M2 is separately available. So let us take this M1. M1 for A is 3240 and M2 for A. So material price variance M1 minus M2. See, normally when the figure is negative, it's a favorable variance. So 3240. So when with respect of cost variances like material, it is a favorable variance or positive variance. And if the resultant figure is positive, that means you're spending more. It is unfavorable variance or negative variance. So in this case, the M1 is what? Actuals. M2 is standard. So your actual is less than your standard, so it's favorable. Similarly for B, M1 7,480 minus M2 for B 6,600. So unfavorable balance. So that is adverse or unfavorable. So you can call this as adverse also. Adverse, favorable. Unfavorable balance can also be called as adverse variance. So this is going to give you 7,480 minus 6,880 adverse variance. So net is 520 adverse. Very, very important. You have to net it off actually. So material price variance, we got the answer now. M1 minus M2. As I said, you can go by total also. M1 total is 10,720. M2 total is 10,200. You can go by that, or you can calculate wherever possible separately also, but the answer will not change. So material price variance you have calculated. Then material mix variance. Formula is M2 minus M3. Again, it's separately available. If it is so, you can do it. Yes, for both M2 minus M3 is available. What is M2 of A? 3,600. What is M3 of A? 3,200. So 400, as I said, adverse. If the number is positive, it's adverse. Similarly for B, You have to take M3, M2 and M3. M2 for B is 6,600, 7,200. It's favorable. So 600 favorable. So net is 200 favorable. Very important, dear students. Material mix variance formula is M2 minus M3. And we can calculate for A and B separately. For A it is 3600 minus 3200. So it's positive number means adverse variance and negative number means favorable variance. So net is favorable. Then material yield variance. Yield is to do with your output. The formula for yield variance is M3 minus M4. In this case you can go by total because M4 is available in total. So M3 total 10,400 and M4 total we just now got 10,516. So negative means, as I said, it's favorable. Then material cost variance. Material cost variance is equal to, the formula for material cost variance is M1 minus M4. So again here go by total. Total M1 we already got the figure as 10,720. Minus M4 is 10,516. So you'll get 204 adverse. Then material usage variance. Material usage variance, the formula is M2 minus M4. So M2 is already known to us. So material usage variance is M2 minus M4. Let us take the M2 figure. M2 figure is 10,200 and M4 is 10,516. You'll get 316 favorable. These are all the variances. So we got the answers now. Actually it will take only 10 minutes to do this. Very fast you can do this. Now final thing we are supposed to do in standard costing is to check whether they ask or not. The question may not ask. Material cost variance is equal to material price variance plus material usage variance. Let us calculate that. We just now got material cost variance is 204 adverse is equal to price variance 520 adverse and usage variance we got 316 favorable. Yes, that's confirming it itself. So 520 adverse plus 316 favorable is 204 adverse. So this check is completed. Similarly, material usage variance is equal to material mix variance plus material yield variance. So material usage variance we got the answer as 316 favorable. Mix variance we just now got it as 200 favorable. And yield variance is 116 favorable. So that is also confirming. So once you calculate this by way of a check and if the answers are matching, it's like arithmetic check. You have done it right and your answer is right. So finally this is the figure. They asked us to calculate the variances. So material price variance is 520 adverse. I am highlighting that for a easy understanding. Material mix variance is 200 favorable. Material yield variance is 116 favorable. Material cost variance is 204 adverse. And material usage variance is 316 favorable. Got it? Very good. So very interesting actually. Fairly simple. I don't think there is any complication in this. But what again, as I keep saying regularly, is familiarization. See, familiarization, what I mean to say, going through it few times, multiple times, understanding it, trying to know how it is arrived at and remembering the formula. So I would tell you this method of using this formula is very easy, and because this is the same model we are going to follow for labor and overheads. So it becomes all the more easy for you. There is another method called tabular method which I would not recommend for you. Many books follow that. Don't follow that method. Even in the book, if they followed some tabular method, you can use it under the formula method what I am using, because I should tell you that I was earlier using the tabular method where I was finding it difficult to do it, but after following this formula method I found it to be very simple. So you can use this formula method and answers will be the same, answers will not change, but the presentation, how to arrive at the answers, and then the terminologies used you have to get familiarized. The terminology, standard cost, actual cost, all this you need to understand properly. And in the next session, after you go through this, so that I want you to spend some time and go through this, and so that I can work out some more problems on material variances in the next session, and then we'll follow it up with labor variances and other variances. Okay, so go through this and let me know whatever doubts you might have, so that I can clarify to you before you proceed to work out more problems on this. And I'll also try to work out more problems in the next session on standard costing. Very important topic, definitely one question. Weightage could be somewhere around 5 to 8 marks for this topic, because you have many topics, you know that, and for 100 marks they have kept some 15 to 16 topics, so that means on an average per topic you'll get 5 to 8 marks. That is obvious. So here again you can get 5 to 8 marks, which is very easy to score. So I'll get back to you in the next session. Take care.